the man with the smallest brain in the world. One 44-year-old Frenchman was living a normal life. He was a married father of 2 children and worked as a civil servant. Then he found out he literally had no brain. The case was first described in The Lancet in 2007. The man went to a hospital after he felt a mild weakness in his left leg. His medical history showed he had once had a shunt in his head. The shunt was meant to drain away hydrocephalus, excess liquid. It had been inserted when he was an infant and removed when he was 14. The doctors did a CT scan and an MRI of his brain. They were shocked by the massive enlargement of the lateral ventricles. These usually tiny chambers hold the cerebrospinal fluid that cushions the brain. The huge fluid-filled chamber took up most of the room in the man's skull. It left little more than a thin sheet of actual brain tissue. The internal part of his brain had almost completely eroded away. Scientists previously thought this condition was not compatible with life, and yet the man appeared relatively healthy. Intelligence tests showed he had an IQ of 75. While below average, it's not considered a mental disability. Doctors think the man's brain was slowly destroyed over 30 years. It was caused by hydrocephalus, the buildup of fluid in the brain. Another theory suggests the patient's brain wasn't destroyed. It's possible that due to the fluid's pressure, it was gradually compressed. At any rate, the case challenges our understanding of consciousness. Learning about our brain functioning has been a long process. For a long time, a bigger brain was associated with higher intellect. However, it's a lot more complicated than that. The brain-to-body ratio is more important than size. Humans have a relative brain-to-body mass of 1 to 50. Most other mammals have a ratio of 1 to 180. Our brain is 7.5 times bigger than the brain of a mammal of the same size. Intelligence also has to do with the different components of the brain. Humans have the largest cerebral cortex of all mammals. It's responsible for functions like memory, communication, and thinking. The number of neurons is another indicator, but some dolphins have twice as many neurons as humans. It's even more complicated when it comes to consciousness. In the past, researchers thought it was linked to specific brain regions. However, recent studies suggest the brain learns consciousness. Its location can be flexible and learned by different brain regions. Our brains are more plastic than we imagine. If one area is damaged, other parts may be able to take over its functions. Scientists think this might explain the curious case of the Frenchman. One thing is clear: our brains still hold many mysteries to be solved.